Yo, what is up guys? It's me exactly back bringing some more daily NBA news, and yes, I am wearing glasses. I've been having some eye troubles for the past few days, and they say these are supposed to help. Anyways, you guys are the real MVPs coming back each and every single day. Seriously, can't thank you enough. The support on yesterday's video was once again out of this world, so thank you for that. And hey, if you're new here, then you're also greatly appreciated, but make sure that you smack that sub button and the bell as well so you can stay up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. But now let's take a quick look at everything that is going on in the NBA. However, I do have to first give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, athleticcases.com. Basketball, baseball, football, or soccer, no matter what the sport, you guys can now rock your favorite player on the back of your phone. Use the promo code ZachLee for 10% off your order. Links are in the description box below. So yesterday, we talked about the Phoenix Suns and how they are not sold on DeAndre Ayton as the #1 pick in the draft yet. Matter of fact, they are heavily considering taking Luka Doncic instead, since the coach that they just hired has experience with coaching Luka Doncic during the Eurobasket tournament last year. So the Suns are torn between drafting DeAndre Ayton, the hometown hero of sorts, since he has been going to school in Arizona ever since high school, and Luka Doncic, the guy who has connections with the head coach already and has been touted as the best international prospect ever. What a tough decision. However, something that can make it a lot easier for the Phoenix Suns is if Luka Doncic decides that he is going to withdraw his name from the NBA draft, as we got reports this morning saying that Luka Doncic is unsure if he's ready to come over to the NBA. I'm not sure if these are my last 2 games of the EuroLeague. We have yet to make that decision, perhaps after this season. Now, Doncic did already officially declare for the NBA draft back in April. However, everyone who declares for the NBA draft also has the right to withdraw their name from the draft up until the June 11th deadline. It's just that we never see a guy who's going to be a top 3 pick in the draft decide to pull out of the NBA. And it goes without saying that this news could potentially do some severe damage to Luka Doncic's draft stock. He already said that he's not going to be able to practice for any NBA teams leading up to the NBA draft. Matter of fact, he might not even be able to attend the draft itself. Luka Doncic might not be able to walk across the stage and shake Adam Silver's hand when he does get drafted. So now him coming out and saying if he's unsure if he wants to come in the NBA shows maybe a lack of confidence in himself and his NBA readiness, which could cause some teams to look at other options before Luka Doncic. However, all that being said, there are also articles out there saying that Luka Doncic could still enter the NBA draft and be drafted, but decided whether or not he actually wants to play in the NBA this upcoming season after the fact, after he sees which team drafts him. So we can kind of like use this as leverage to try and avoid being drafted by a team that he doesn't want to play for. And most people are starting to think he's doing this to avoid being picked by the Sacramento Kings, since the Kings are expected to take either Luka Doncic or DeAndre Ayton, depending on who the Suns don't draft. Moving on. So the general consensus is of course that the Boston Celtics won their trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers over the summer when they acquired Kyrie Irving. At first, the trade seemed kind of fair when it went down. The Cavs got Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, some other good role players, plus the Brooklyn Nets. And the Celtics of course get Kyrie Irving, one of the best players in the NBA. But now that we all saw how it panned out, it's clear as day that the Boston Celtics won that trade. And it turns out that we fans are not the only ones willing to admit that the Boston Celtics won the trade, as we got reports yesterday saying that the Cleveland Cavaliers player shouted Danny Ainge is a thief in reference to this Irving trade. According to the Athletics, Jason Lloyd, the Cavs player, called Boston Celtics general manager Danny Ainge a freaking thief this winter in reference to the deal. Danny Ainge really did rob the Cavs, flat out, point blank, and he did it so smoothly too. Danny Ainge is the type of GM that'll make a deal with you and make it seem like you're getting the upper hand in this deal, like you're the one robbing him. However, a few months later, always look back and say, dang, we got fleeced. It happened to the Nets, and now it happened to the Cleveland Cavaliers too. And low-key, they did it to my Pistons with the whole Marcus Morris Avery Bradley trade. Now, it's not as big of a deal as the Nets giving up their entire future, the Cavs giving up Kyrie Irving, but I mean, between Avery Bradley and Marcus Morris, it's clear who's having the better season. So a warning to any other teams out there in the NBA, only do a deal with the Boston Celtics if you are prepared to get fleeced one way or another. Moving on to the next story though, the Milwaukee Bucks just decided decided to hire Mike Budenholzer as their new head coach. Now, this is of course a good move on Milwaukee's part. Mike Budenholzer is a really good coach and a huge upgrade over Jason Kidd and the interim head coach that they had after Kidd was fired. However, it's terrible news for the Toronto Raptors, as they apparently really wanted Budenholzer, but he decided to go with the Bucks instead. And this is a signing that both Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton agree with, as before Budenholzer was officially hired as the head coach by the Bucks yesterday, he had a meeting with both Giannis and Chris Middleton over breakfast. I guess they gave him the okay afterwards, and next thing he's officially the head coach, which is good. You never want a head coach that doesn't get along with your star players. So game 2 of the Western Conference Finals between the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors went down last night. And James Harden, of course, we talked about how he said that he wants the other players on the Rockets to step up and bring their A game, that they have to if they're going to want to have any chance of beating the Golden State Warriors. And that is exactly what happened. Everyone who took the court for Houston yesterday played outside of their mind, which resulted in a 127-105 win. As for why the Warriors lost the way they did, Steve Kerr kept it simple by just saying that they got outplayed and got their butts handed to them.
You know, give them the credit. They came out and played a great game, and they got everybody going, and so they got, we got what we deserved. So they kicked our butts, no other way to say it.
And Curry, who was getting attacked by the Rockets left and right yesterday, said he wasn't surprised at all that the Houston Rockets were going at him like that, and that everyone else on the team, including himself, needs to step up their individual one-on-one defense against these Rockets.
It seemed like somewhere along in the game they decided to attack you a lot off of the dribble. Is there
surprise?
Is there a physical toll to being in that one-on-one defensive situation repeatedly?
Not if you were, just I guess one step ahead of it. And tonight I think that was the difference. We were trying to be too cute with our exchanges and our switches and all that stuff instead of just manning up playing one-on-one defense.
And Kevin Durant flat out came out and said that the Warriors aren't invincible, that they can be beat. Like I said after game 1, this series is going to be crazy. The Warriors are of course the favorites to win, but still, the Rockets seem to be the best equipped team in the NBA at competing with Golden State right now. So the NBA has officially announced the finalists for each regular season award. MVP, you got Anthony Davis, James Harden, and LeBron James. Defensive Player of the Year, you got Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, and Rudy Gobert. Rookie of the Year, Donovan Mitchell, Ben Simmons, Jason Tatum. Coach of the Year, Dwayne Casey, Quinn Snyder, Brad Stevens. Sixth Man of the Year, Eric Gordon, Fred VanVleet, and Lou Williams. And for Most Improved, you got Clint Capella, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Victor Oladipo. So now, we officially know the finalists, the top 3 guys for each regular season award. Finally, now, we just had to wait until June 25th at the annual NBA awards show to find out who actually won each award. All right, NBA, look, I love the NBA. I love basketball. I like a lot of changes that the NBA has been making, but this right here, it needs to change. This cannot happen again next season. And what I'm talking about is holding the awards show well after the regular season has already ended, after the NBA finals is over, heck, even after the NBA draft. No one cares. We as fans do not care about who was the regular season MVP on June 25th. It's old news by that point. All we care about is the players that our teams just drafted, going back, watching highlights, imagining how great they can be, looking forward to free agency and who our favorite teams are going to get, what moves they can make, things like that. We do not care about who the coach of the year is going to be on June 25th. The awards show itself is a good idea. I like the idea of having a show like this, but it needs to come on, I think, before the playoffs even start. If it's a regular season award, it should happen after the regular season. I mean, how is Dwayne Casey gonna look walking across the stage to collect his Coach of the Year award after he just got swept and fired by the Toronto Raptors? And I get it. I know why. Part of the reason, at least, why they have it when they do is because they don't want to interrupt the flow of the season. If they had it right after the regular season, teams in the playoffs are already looking forward to the playoffs. They're trying to get focus, get ready for the playoffs. They don't want to interrupt that. But here's my thing. Even if you have to wait a day until after the season ends and then have the award show the next day and then give the players 5 to 7 days off before the first round of the playoffs tips off, it'll still be a better experience than having the award show after the freaking NBA draft. We already know who's going to win pretty much any award anyways at this point. And that is going to lead us to the question of the day. How do you guys feel about the NBA award show? Do you like where they have it right now? Do you wish that it would be earlier? Let me know down in the comment section below. But that is going to do it for today's video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA news. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow. But until then, keep getting the buckets, Team SEC, and I'm out of here. Peace.